You're
Just
leading
like
the
in
charge.
any. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very happy.
I feel like we need to help you get your energy out. Do you want to give a big yell or anything? Maybe a move or something?
I don't know, like, I can yell. I
Okay,
can scream,
let's,
but,
do you
like,
want to yell? I'll do it with you so you don't feel so alone.
But like, wouldn't it like kill the mic?
That's
or...
okay. We'll hold them like this.
All right.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. You win.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Great game. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was actually in me.
Fabulous. Absolutely fantastic.
How can you not like him?
He is so likeable, and that's the great thing about him. But I do want to talk about the fact that he effectively has put in place a legacy for Korean Dota, and there is now an opportunity for them to now see some of the players come through, just as we saw in China, just as we've seen in Europe and North America and South America. And I don't know, we might sit back in 5 years and just look back at what his contribution was, not the 1 and 9, by the way, but his contribution to Korean Dota might just be enormous.
I have the biggest respect for that type of mindset. You know, the guy actually tells you he didn't get the chance to look at his score throughout the whole game. But it says a lot about the mindset he has. He just plays for the team, and he's trying to win the game. And at the end, he was like, all right, maybe, now he got lucky, he got the chance to look at his score. Maybe he doesn't even care about it. And then he's like, I was 1-9, but sometimes it's what you need. He was a spirit breaker in that game, so you need him to open the fights, and whatever happens after for him happens. But he's just doing his job. He's just trying to carry his team to victory, and that's very likable.
Let's take a look at the brackets from yesterday, starting with the upper bracket, where, of course, LGD and Team Empire went at it in the opening game of the day. They win 2-1 from LGD, of course. CDEC then coming through a little bit more surprisingly, perhaps, with a 2-0 victory over Cloud9. I think, we all thought that maybe CDEC had a small chance, and it would depend on maybe how Cloud9 play. But in the end, they absolutely dominated. So LGD will now play CDEC in the upper bracket of round 2. We can also take a look at the lower bracket, where MVP Phoenix, of course, came through. And it shouldn't be underestimated by the fact that they actually knocked out the defending champions. I think we didn't really talk about that very much yesterday, but they actually knocked out the defending champions. So a huge scalp for them as they move on to play Team Empire, of course, who dropped down from the upper bracket. Cloud9 also dropping down. They'll take on Vici Gaming, who came through that game with Navi. Very emotional scenes in amongst that one as well. Still got a couple more games to go down in that lower bracket before we close everything up, and we'll see them at the end of the day. We'll have Virtus Pro winning against Fnatic, of course, now going through, so they're going to wait and see who they play, and IG coming through MVP Hot 6. Out of all of those, what was the most surprising, Malini?
I think there was a huge market difference in the upper bracket and the lower bracket games. I think like game 1 LGD Empire had that huge overextension, and like game 1 of Cloud9 they also had that Nature's Prophet strat. So we saw a lot of weird things coming out of the upper bracket, and lower bracket was very standard picks, very conservative plays, burning with a Phantom Lancer. We saw Anti-Mage played by Havost, and people were drafting like a lot more late game. So I think the upper brackets tend to be a lot more interesting because they know they have that lifeline.
Okay, let's get into day 2, because the expectations today are huge. There's some massive games, and we've all been chomping at the bit since we saw the draw. And I know in particular, I've got a real soft spot for Evil Genesis and Complexity, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail later. But that is one of the games. We've also got Secret for the first time at the main event as well, so everyone's very excited about seeing how they can come in. But I don't think we need to discount eHome either. I know that it's a very historic name. They did very well at the very first TI. But with ROTK and CTY in a team, they've got just as good a chance as anyone in this tournament, haven't they?
CTY is a very, very impressive player. Like, ROTK is also a good leader for them. Like, he has a very good attitude in-game. I think he brings a lot of energy. So, interested to see what eHome can bring.
Indeed. EG Complexity, obviously, we've seen a lot of Canadian flags. Quite a lot of American flags today as well, walking around with EG signs on as well. So that's kind of like a home turf kind of fight-off, really. I'm really looking forward to how this one works out. Is there anything else that stands out for you, Ben? Lower bracket or upper bracket?
I'm really excited to see two North American teams. I think we talked a lot about the Korean scene with 2 MVP, and last year there were none in the main event. But I think at the same time the North American scene definitely deserves some love. It's home turf. There's a lot of fans here. I'm excited to see so many people here early in the morning with flags and everyone cheering USA.
Yeah, I think we might get a few cheers, that's for sure.
It's interesting because it seems like the North American scene is getting stronger, because I remember previous TIs, there was EG, and I don't think any teams placed that high. Like now, this time around, we have 2 teams that place really high in the group phases. So, and unfortunately they clash. They're going to fight each other already, but it's not. No one's going to get disqualified from that game. So.
Yeah, Winter in the lower bracket, Team Empire versus MVP Phoenix. We've seen March, you know, and we all like him. We all think he's a great guy, but realistically, do they stand a chance against Empire, who did, after all, look very good against LGD for about 1.5 of the games, even though they lost 2-1?
I mean, they could have easily taken the series 2-0,
Yeah.
honestly, if they had a better execution in certain fights. But if you talk about MVP as well, they have like this huge morale boost from the win against Newbie. So I think that will play a huge factor. The whole team will be much more confident. And you go into a game like Empire. Empire is a team that runs at you, that they try to take fights against you. They play really aggressive. So MVP as a team has to respond with their own confidence and their own play style to be able to match them.
Okay. Seb, yesterday, Cloud9 didn't have the best of days, has to be said, although I think we shouldn't take anything away from CDEC playing really well in that game. They play Vici Gaming, who actually started to look like the old VG a little bit yesterday, or albeit in a best of one, so very hard to tell. How do you see that matchup?
It's going to be really tough to predict because I don't think VG was so convincing yesterday. I think they did well, but it wasn't enough. Like it wasn't close to being enough to actually beat Cloud9 if they play their A game. But on the other hand, Cloud9 did really underperform, and we kind of predicted that it could happen. You know, it's Cloud9, it's hit or miss. So it's going to come down to the mindset of the players. I think we can expect Vici to be a bit more stable and to deliver a bit, at least, like very stable performance, whereas Cloud9, it's definitely up to them and up to the approach they have. No, it's going to be tough to predict. I'd like to see Cloud9 bounce back. I think from what they show during the group stage, seeing them lose 2-0 and 2-0 again would be really tough. It would be a really tough winner bracket and loser bracket round.
They didn't have a particularly outstanding group stage, but they weren't terrible by any.
They finished third, so
they also had some days like they're kind of hit or miss. Like they had days where they won both their series 2-0, which is amazing. That's 6 points, you know. And when they perform well, they can beat any team. So I think C9 versus Vici can be a close game. I think it can be very dangerous for either of them.
And they beat teams with a very specific play style. And, you know, I'm here to watch great Dota, and I want to see that play style play to the highest level. So that's why I want to see Cloud9 shine.
Yeah. Right, I'm glad you've ended on that because we all want to see great Dota. And I know one particular person who's here at the Key Arena also wants to play some good Dota at TI6 because she and I are going to put together a team and dominate next year. Good morning, Casey. How you doing?
That was the dumbest thing I ever said yesterday. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We've got it. I've got some good trainers up here. They're going to help us out.
I think we got this.
Okay.
So we'll see you next year for that.
Good.
We thought we would come inside and give you guys a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at the bowl. So I first want to show you the stage, which you've seen on the stream, but look how giant it is in person. Yeah! Yes! And then if I can have Myron show the giant screen, this is where I look like a giant. Whoa! Totally awesome. So we have people filing in for the first match, obviously, and I asked this section if they were going to be excited for us. They promised they would, so let's test it out. You guys excited for Dota? All right, predictions. Predictions for the match, and look up at Myron as you say them.
I think EG is going to take it. I like Complexity, and I'm not really an EG fan, but I think EG is the stronger team.
What about Complexity? Any Complexity fans? There's no booing in Dota! Yes, there is. I know. That was another dumb thing. All right, who's excited to get these matches started? Do we have any big Jeremy Lin fans here? Yes, we do. We had a chance to talk to Jeremy Lin yesterday. Obviously, big NBA superstar, future Dota professional, as you heard it right here first. I want to show you what happened when we went out by the secret shop to kind of walk around and mingle with some Dota fans. What is in your pocket and where did it come from?
This is a Necrolite plushie, and I just stole it from some random dude on the street. No, he gave it to me, and he was like, hey, do you want one? I was like, sure. So he gave it to me, stuck him in my pocket. He falls out every once in a while, but it's all good.
Is that your new good luck charm?
It's my new good luck charm. It's going to give me street cred while I walk around these streets trying to figure out what we're going to do with this video. I have not been to the secret shop. Okay. Yeah, but I hear it's nearby.
Yes. No, we're walking you far, far away from it.
Okay. Oh, right here, right here.
It's right here.
All right. I ordered some items, so I got to go pick them up. Or I think my friend went to go pick them up for me. But
one of my favorite heroes is Timbersaw.
that's pretty sweet. What's wrong with Timbersaw?
Well, he's a little crazy. And the reason he's my favorite is that when I first watched him, we watched the game on mute because we were covering it, and he looked terrifying. And then somebody allowed me to listen to what his voice sounded like, and I was like, oh.
So that's what you're looking for, your ideal boyfriend or husband voice is a Timbersaw voice, pretty much.
That's right. Is that how he sounds?
That's pretty good. I didn't hear it, though. You might have to do it one more time.
He says something about trees.
There he is. You got my stuff from the secret shop.
Oh, yeah. Can you show us what you got?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
See it.
This is a shirt that I really wanted.
How long have you had your eye on this shirt?
Well, just since this morning.
So not too long.
Not too long.
I feel like since I saw it 2 hours ago.
I saw it this morning.
Thank you very much.
But this is the one I really wanted. Mainly because there's a Pudge, which is always awesome. Axe is a hero that I love playing, as well as Leviathan. I just think it's pretty sick.
Now we're talking. Those look see-through.
Yeah. Wow.
Aren't those see-through?
This is intense. This is very intense.
I will give you $100 to put those on right now.
It's gonna need a lot more than $100 to put those on right now.
Yeah.
That is a pretty sweet shirt.
I forget, actually. I got this a long time ago.
You know what? You stole that from someone. They should get your shirt.
But there's...
How are you? We have our friend Jeremy Lin here.
It's an honor, sir.
Storm?
You know it. Ha ha.
This is pretty amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Can you fly?
Let me try.
I see a wine bottle and a gun. What is it really?
We have a T-shirt cannon, something that has been in the works for years, and we finally got around to asking permission to get it. They said yes.
Can you have a crack at it when you're done?
Why don't you get the first shot?
You want it?
No.
Okay, so how about this? I'll get it ready. And
Okay.
all you got to do is put one hand here,
And just
and then
fire.
pull the trigger, shoot it straight up.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Let me get it.
All right, you get it ready. That looks way too... I feel like a malfunction will be very hazardous.
Yeah. The minute he hands it to us.
Yeah. You guys want a T-shirt?
That. All you. You've earned it. Oh my God!
No, that was crazy.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
I think it's a lion. Lion toy. I think it is.
You have a lion shot out of a cannon by NBA pro Jeremy Lin.
I have no words.
It's amazing being here. Free plushies. Just got an autograph from Jeremy Lin. Couldn't be better.
What could possibly top this week for you?
You know, I'm meeting my namesake Casey. My name's Casey as well, so
hello.
great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Here, take one where I'm stealing his plushie.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you. Thanks for having fun with us.
Oh my goodness.
The swag gun.
That is way too much.